everyone, thank you for clicking on this video. It's Mabel here. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. And if you are one of the 10,000 subscribers, yes, I'm going to rub that in because we just hit that milestone literally this week. So that's really exciting. Anyway, if you are coming back to my channel, then welcome back. As you can see from the title of the video, this video is going to be intentions rather than resolutions for 2024, and also a little bit of reflecting on 2023 as well. In my first vlog that I posted of 2024, I literally started the video, I wasn't concentrating, and I said, hi everyone, happy new year, it's 2023, and obviously it's 2024 now. And yeah, I really wanted to just do a video, even though this isn't my usual style. I thought it would be quite nice to just sit down, have a bit of a catch up. If you watched Vlogmas, then you'll be a little bit up to date, but I still feel like it's nice to just open up a bit. It's nice to kind of just touch on things that aren't going to come up in everyday life. Obviously, if you watch my vlogs, you know that I live here in Dubai, and you know, there's things that you'll see every single week. You'll see the grocery shopping and the routine and the work and things like that, but let's take a moment to just kind of reflect on some of the bigger things as well. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video, and I hope you enjoy it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up and all that kind of jazz. But let's get straight into the video, shall we? I think it's I've actually loved seeing YouTubers, so many YouTubers, doing videos on their intentions rather than their resolutions. And I am going to be one of those annoying people that is kind of on this slow New Year bandwagon, because I do think it can be overwhelming. Resolutions for sure can be scary and overwhelming and honestly a bit toxic. So I think having intentions rather than resolutions is a bit of a softer way to approach it. And I think anybody that's kind of got stress or anxiety in their life, like I do, then I think you will prefer this way of approaching the new year as well. And there's also been a few kind of pieces of content circling about how January is still literally in the middle of winter, which in nature is obviously a time for hibernation. It's not a time, we're not in spring yet. We don't need to spring into action straight after Christmas, even though it feels like a lot of people do. I think you can still use this time to rest, and you can still use this time to kind of ease your way into life, you know? I think also having intentions rather than resolutions can make things more achievable as well. I think people are very quick to make resolutions quite extreme, and that's not what we're doing. We're not doing any of that. Well, not in this video anyway. If you're looking for that, then this isn't the video for you. We're kind of having a soft approach to 2024. Gosh, I can't even get my words out then. We're having a soft approach to 2024. We are not being too hard on ourselves. That's been kind of the theme. First, before we get into what my intentions for 2024 are, I thought we could reflect a bit together on 2023 and just what has happened the past 12 months. And I think anyone that's kind of been following me in the vlogs, you'll have a bit of an understanding of this already just because you'll have seen it in my life. But for me, 2023 was a year where I completely slowed down and changed my pace and just changed my approach to work and life and just everything. You know, it's funny, I saw my sister over Christmas, and she was just asking me what like my highlight of 2023 was, and I think I said, this is going to sound so cheesy by the way, and I'll probably watch this in like 10 years and be like, you're so cringy, but I feel like this year I really understood and learnt what the meaning of life is. And it's a secret, and I'm not telling you. No, I'm joking. I think I found what it isn't. That's what it is. I found what it isn't, and I found that kind of meaning and happiness is never going to be in your goals, and it's never going to be in your achievements. And that kind of disrupted a lot for me, because I've always been someone that's been quite proud of my achievements, and to be honest, made my achievements a lot of my personality. So that was quite a like life-changing event for me. And I also turned 25, and I am under the belief that because I turned 25 and I now have what scientists have mentioned is a fully developed brain, I do feel like I can really comprehend life in a different way. Like I said, I know I'm going to watch this in 10 years and just be like, Mabel, you knew nothing. But that's what it's about, you know? We're always learning all the time. Like literally, we're always learning all the time. So this is just my experience of what I've learned. Anyway, let's stay on track, 2023. So I started the year and it was a really, really difficult time. I think the end of 2022 and the start of 2023 were still very difficult for me because my anxiety had really taken over my life. Oh, I just got a bit emotional then, which I didn't want this to be like an emotional video. That wasn't the intention. I'm like looking at my notes there and I'm like, oh my God, when I was planning this video, I did not plan to get emotional, but it was quite a difficult time for me in the end of 2022 and the start of 2023. I think you know what I think is making me kind of tear up is just how different it is now and how proud I am of my growth. Sorry guys, this was not the plan for the video, but I am just being honest. Yeah, it was hard, you know, it was hard, and I think I'm just so appreciative that I did get through that and that I'm in a different place now mentally, and I think that's why it still feels so close, you know, I can still really feel it. Oh, deep breaths. Anyway, I started doing therapy at the end of 2022 in the December. So I was, you know, moving into 2023 with, you know, I didn't set any resolutions. Resolutions were the last thing that I wanted. I was really doing anything I could to slow my life down, because I realized that I'd taken on too much and I'd said yes to everything and I wanted everything at once, and in so many ways, you know, not just professionally, but yeah. Anyway, the first few months of 2023, I did a lot of kind of realizing stuff. And I feel like that was when I started to just become more aware of the fact that these achievements that I thought I wanted weren't satisfying me at all. And you can have a big business, or you can have, you know, amazing career opportunities that you once dreamed of, but like it won't make, what am I trying to say? Why am I finding it so hard? It's not going to be your happiness. Like, that's not it. And I think I had to get there to know that, which is kind of deep. I know this like, we're probably like 5 minutes into the video and this is so deep already, but like, I think just because in my life and in my head, I was so obsessed, I'm going to use the word obsessed, with achieving these things and pushing myself so hard. And I think it's because I wanted that pride and sense of achievement. And I thought that would be just everything. I just really was, I you know, I'm happy that past Mabel did all that because it's taught me a lot. But wow, did I, you know, go for it. And I was working so hard in 2022 that yeah, it really got the better of me, and it got to a point where I really felt like I couldn't enjoy my life, to be honest. Anyway, this video isn't meant to be about 2023, so let's move it along. I started to really say no to things and slow my life right down. I started to appreciate a sense of stability. We built a home. We didn't build a home, but I mean, metaphorically, we built a home base for ourselves. And I'm doing that because I'm sat in my apartment in Dubai right now. And yeah, like the 6 months before we moved into this apartment, I was living out of the suitcase. I was doing the digital nomad thing. I thought that would be I thought that was what I wanted. I really did. I thought that was what I wanted. But anyway, moved into the apartment that we love, and we absolutely love this apartment. And then I remember by the time it was kind of spring, I went on a trip. I went to America, and I was so anxious in the run up to the trip, thinking that I won't be able to enjoy it. But I did enjoy it, and that was when I was kind of like, yep, I'm on my way, and I'm in the right direction. And I just felt like that reassurance. The rest of the year has kind of continued in that kind of slower pace of life, and I have enjoyed it. I've reconnected with doing things for fun and not for money, and just doing, having hobbies and having leisure time and having restful days. And yeah, and I think it has allowed me to be more present. It really, really has. But I'm not there yet, Anyway, I'm going to summarize the second half of 2023. The second half of 2023 was also challenging in its own way. I traveled a lot in the summer, which I'm incredibly grateful for, and I felt like I could truly enjoy it, which I loved. But then my granddad passed away in September, and it's hard to lose someone, so that was a massive kind of event for me. And then I came back to Dubai. And I have been on my self-care and genuine relationship and friendship connection, appreciation journey. And I think I think one thing I'm taking away from the second half of 2023 is just how important it is to spend time with the people that you love. Anyway, that was my summary of 2023. I feel like I can ramble and I can, get carried away. I didn't want this video to be about 2023. It's about looking forward. But I just wanted to be real with you guys and give you some context and just update you, honestly. And I'm I know it feels like, it might seem like I'm a bit of an emotional wreck, but this is nothing. And I feel like I am at a point where I do want to be honest and share a genuine reflection of my life online. And it's not all just, a beautiful montage of living an amazing life in Dubai. It's just real life. And anyway, so I had a lovely family Christmas and spent a lot of time with my family, which was amazing, and started the new year. And I've come back to Dubai, and now let's talk about just the intentions for 2024 and where my mind is at. Let's do that. I like to do this thing where I have a word of the year. I've seen other people do this and I copied them. The first time I did it was last year. My word of last year was self-compassion. And I feel like that does sum up the year for me. My word of this year, I was very torn between two words, but I've decided to go with flow. And the reason I want to go with flow is very linked to my biggest kind of intention for the year, which I'll tell you right now. My biggest intention for this year, and just not even the year, but really just my life moving forward, is to really be present. And the reason that I've chosen the word flow is because I feel like I have a very strong urge within me to dream of the future and dream of things that are happening in the future. And I feel like I put a lot of my happiness and own contentment in the future. It's always somewhere that I'm not, and I feel like I'm not allowing myself to I'm not allowing any doubt or anything around the future, I have to control it all. That feels like where I've been, the space I've been, like, why can't I put this into words? What I'm trying to say is I feel like I always have to know what's coming. And that has got me a lot of places in life that I've appreciated and that I love. You know, a lot of the basis of my podcast episodes that I've done were all about taking steps and doing an action and building the future that you want and not letting life pass you by. And I still stand by that so much, but it needs to be balanced with going with the flow and allowing life to surprise you a little bit. And I think I want to be a little bit more, I was going to say a little bit more laid back then, which I think is the wrong word, but it's kind of, I'm trying to describe it, but I feel like I don't want to be somebody that has to micromanage every element of their life to enjoy it. And I think I need to release some of the control over everything that I have. And that's why my word of the year is flow. We are trying to go with the flow a bit more in 2024. Well, I am anyway. The word that I nearly chose was present, because I feel like that carries a lot of meaning for being present in the moment. And that was a close one. Yeah. But let's go through some of the intentions now for the key categories. I think that really sums up my intention for personal growth. So with that intention that I am putting a few practices into my life. They're not resolutions, but they are things that I've dabbled with in the past and that I know work. And I'm going to cut to the chase. It is meditating. Like, we need to meditate, guys. Like, I need to. And it did help me a lot last year with feeling present. And I know that it works. So I need to make it a bit more, I need to make space for it, I think. I think it's not that I don't want to. It really is just intentionally putting time aside or making it part of the routine. And I find, for me, morning is perfect. So when I wake up, I'm trying to avoid going on my phone. More on that later. But putting a few minutes, literally a few minutes to meditate. And there might be a few people that are kind of eye-rolling at mentioning meditation in a New Year video, because I know not everybody is on board with it. I'm trying to persuade Connor to give it a go. But it's just because it really does work. I think that's why everybody goes on about it, because it really does. Let's move on to career, because I think that's kind of an area of interest for a lot of my watchers, because I have posted a lot of content in the past about my career. There's one key element to my business, Social Flex, that is potentially happening in the next few months that I would rather keep for myself. So more on that later in the year. But in terms of how I'm handling my business, I'm definitely focusing. Hang on, I just want to check this is still recording. Okay. I just haven't panicked that like this is going to turn off and I'm just going to be sat here talking to myself. So for my business, I'm 100% continuing all of the lessons that I've learned from 2023, which is, it's pretty much can be summed up in the word boundaries. It's all about boundaries. I think, especially when you're early on in your career and you're hustling and you're trying to build something from nothing, you do have to accept things that don't serve you. But I don't think I'm there anymore, and I think I need to remember that. So we're setting boundaries. We're being kind of, I was going to say realistic with our time is what I was trying to say. Like, I think no longer would I accept a life where I'm doing 12-hour days or working into the night or taking calls at ridiculous times or even on the weekend. I think now I'm so conscious of that. So yeah, that's it really. I feel like I don't want to have anything there's my intention with work is to really, if I'm going to be honest, it's to really be a balance of creativity and this, business that I've built that is doing what I really enjoy. And I know I'm lucky for that. But at the same time, even though even if you're doing what you love, if you're doing it for work, I do think it still feels like work. Like, let's not pretend that it's not still work, because it is. And it is so important for me to make sure that work is providing what I need it to, which for me is flexibility, because I'm obsessed with traveling and I'm obsessed with working from home, and also just making sure that it financially supports my goals. So that's my intention for the year, is that it continues to do that, and I'm happy with that. I think years previously, I would have been hire this many people, get this client, do this, work in this, and now it does not. I'm not. My brain is not even going there, because that is not what my intentions are. So, quite a short section for career. Okay, the next one, health and wellness. I've become a bit of a wellness addict. I think this has kind of happened I still think it's an accumulation of a lot of different things. But I think when you're really trying to not turn your life around, because that sounds so dramatic, but I think because of all the personal work I've done last year, I think it is so interlinked with true wellness of your body physically. And I think, I've seen the effect that anxiety and stress can have on sleep and mood and just everything. And I'm much more conscious of that now. So my intentions for my health and wellness in 2024 are to, I love how I'm kind of thinking of this on the spot because my notes aren't really very helpful, but my intentions are to continue to put my effort into things like getting enough sleep, and I've been recently researching blue light and its effects. And I feel like I sound like a bit of a cliche when it comes to all this kind of thing, but I do think it makes a difference. Blue light late at night is a no-no. Natural daylight as soon as you wake up in the morning is a big yes, and that's one that I've started doing, is opening the curtains immediately. Sleep in general is a massive one for me because I've really struggled with sleep in the past. So that feels like it's the most prominent one. As for my diet, for those of you that don't know, or I'm sure you do know by now, because if you've watched this much of the video, then you probably watched all my videos. Me and Connor are both vegan, which we absolutely love being vegan. Actually, I can't believe I forgot. This is such a key element to health and wellness. Okay. So last year, I read a book called Ultra Processed People, and I recommend it so much. It's honestly fascinating. And with all the learnings from that book, I'm really making an effort to kind of only buy ingredients. I love how I'm looking over here because I've got my shopping on the table. I'm trying to only buy ingredients, which is quite not easy, but it feels like it comes naturally to me because I love to cook and I love cooking. I always cook for me and Connor, and I love it. I really do. So I think I'm trying to make an effort to just only eat whole foods, and I don't want to be putting preservatives and thickeners and just all these nasties into the food that I'm preparing. And I know that it's very time consuming to do this, so it's not going to be available for everyone, but for me, because I work from home and I do have more time now, that even this weekend I'm gonna be baking sourdough and preparing meals for the week, and I find that really gives me a lot of joy, and I'm loving moving towards this kind of moving towards this ingredient only way of shopping and really preparing everything and knowing what's in what I eat. That's really important to me this year. And also just enjoying it as well, actually. Now that I'm saying this, I do love cooking. I really, really love it. I think I showed you guys this in the vlog, but Connor got me this for Christmas, which is a recipe book, and it's got my name on it. It's written by me, and it's for me to fill in with all my recipes, which I just thought is such a great gift. And yeah, I think just finding joy in that aspect of wellness is something that I'm loving. So more of that in 2024 for sure. I started strength training and running in 2023. Oh my God, why did I have to think that? I was getting so confused with what year it is. Yeah, they're kind of two separate points, but the strength training really came from, even though I'd always been someone that worked out regularly, I feel like I wasn't really challenging myself and my strength. And I really made a conscious effort to do that 4 times a week for the past few months. And I think I do feel better for it. And then also running, me and Connor ran a 10K. I ran the Dubai Women's Run as well, a 10K last year. So I think I would love to maintain this kind of side of my health and fitness routine. But yeah, I'm not setting any pressure on myself. I think my approach to running is essentially running for my mental well-being. I'm not going to, sit here and say that my intention is to run a marathon. Not this year anyway, but yeah, that's not really where my intentions lie for fitness. It's very much for my mental well-being, which also includes kind of self-confidence as well. And I think I have felt very comfortable and confident in my body in 2023 since doing strength training, and I feel like I'm making progress that I'm happy with. I have been following Connor, my boyfriend, is a health and fitness coach, so I've been following the program, and I am really pleased with how I'm looking, and I think there's, that feels like a big win for me. So yeah, if anybody is interested in health and fitness coaching online with Connor, definitely give him a DM on Instagram. He'd love to hear from you. I feel like I really have changed my relationship with how I look and my body. So, can't recommend enough. Obviously, I'm biased, but okay. The next category of hobbies. I feel like I'm such a hobby girl. Oh my God. I have a new hobby every week. Just ask Connor. I honestly do. I've already mentioned my cooking, so I don't need to go there. But the new hobby for 2024 that I'm loving, even though it's challenging, is sourdough baking. And yeah, I want to continue doing that because, well, I'm right at the start of my journey. I've made some good sourdough bagels. I've made 1 good loaf and 2 bad loaves. So I'm going to make my next loaf of sourdough and see how that goes. But I think even just having the time for that and just allowing yourself to have fun is so major. Like, it's so important. And it makes me think of this podcast that I listened to. I wish I could remember the woman's name, but she talked about having fun and how we need to have fun in our life and finding these moments where you can kind of get in a state of flow and just really enjoy what you're doing and be playful about it. I think that's something that's so important. So yeah, hobbies, it's a big one. Yeah, what are my other hobbies? I love art and I love painting, and I have some plans to do some new paintings to hang in the apartment. And actually, you know what? I feel like I haven't actually told anyone this because I've only just realized it in my own mind. But I love interiors, and I've loved kind of learning more about interior design. And I think I've always been such a kind of person that's dreaming of one day having this like big house and whatever that is, that I've kind of overlooked the opportunity to really make this apartment where we are now feel really, really homey. So the reason I'm mentioning this now is because I want to do some painting for this apartment. And it kind of just got me thinking, like, yeah, like, why not just make this the most amazing space that I love and that I'm obsessed with? Like, why do we need to wait to own a house to live somewhere that we absolutely love? You know, it will take time and it will take, you know, saving up and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I feel like that's something I want to kind of bring into my world a little bit more, is, you know, we don't need to wait for some distant future when we have the house of our dreams or whatever it is. I think, you know, I love this apartment. I love it. I think it's a great size for me and Connor right now. So yeah, I'd love to just kind of decorate it a bit more and make it feel really like ours. What other hobbies do I have? Reading, I guess, and podcasts in general. I am obsessed with podcasts. And I do want to try and read more books as well. So yeah, it's a good, that's always a good intention to have, I think. It's often on a lot of people's lists for the year, is reading, podcasts. Even doing my own podcast, I think, would be also really fun. I kind of took a step back from doing a lot of content creation when I was focusing on slowing my life down, but I feel like now I'm feeling a bit better, but I feel like that will be a fun thing to step back into. I think it's interesting as well at this time of year to just to kind of reflect on the other years and how I probably would have done things like making a vision board and doing all this kind of stuff, which I love that people get so invested in it, and I do love that. I love that for people, but I think for me that doesn't align with what I'm trying to do, which is be present. I think that's very much putting your happiness in when you achieve that thing, and I just don't feel like that is how it actually is. So yeah, I don't know, it's kind of a mix. I still love scrolling on Pinterest and looking at amazing things that I want to do, but I don't know if that's really the right thing for me to be doing right now. So I'm not really doing a vision board, even though I've seen a few YouTube videos that look quite fun to do, like create a vision board with me, but I'm not really doing that because yeah, I just don't think that's where my mind is at the moment. But in terms of how I'm setting these intentions into play, it's kind of just doing what I'm already doing, but being more intentional about it and present with it. I think that's quite a nice summary. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I feel like it was quite a nice way for me to really open up with you guys and just be real and just ramble on, to be honest. So let me know what your intentions are for 2024, because I do like to hear this from other people as well. I find it was very interesting and it can be inspiring as well. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed getting to know a little bit more about me, and I hope you'll stick around for my vlogs. Definitely subscribe to me if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.